All right, guys, this one here, get it all the time. Most people think when they ask it, it's a simple yes or no answer. It is absolutely not. But is city water safer than well water, or is well water safer than city water? The answer is that it's going to be, you're actually going to answer this question better than I. So with city water, there's advantages to it. You don't have the high iron. You don't have, and we're talking about that would be a luxury because at the end of the day, you don't have high iron. You don't have sulfur because they're using the chlorine, the disinfectants, and that oxidizes those out. However, those disinfectants, you need them in your water. Once it gets to your house, they've done their job, and I would push you to do unbiased research on the evaporation of chlorine, inhalation of it, and the shower, other things. And then you get to the dry skin, the eczema. You talk to some of those customers and they're going to tell you, well, I don't care what dissolves in my well water. I don't want to feel the way that I feel having to deal with these disinfectants in my water. Then you go to the well water side. The disadvantages of the well water are anything can dissolve in it at any time. And in both of these, you can get a test any day of the week and it could be different the next day. When you get to well water, you could have arsenic, you could have lead, you could have, the list could go on forever and ever. And then obviously bacteria, you don't have anything to disinfect that water. So if you had a bacteria, you wouldn't really know. So there's a risk to both. To be honest with you, the answer is there is no way to have perfect water unless you treat it at the point of use. It's not a sales gimmick or anything. People forget water's the number one universal solvent. It wants to grab, pull, it wants to get everything it can in that molecule. So sorry, I can't give you a direct answer on that. And even if you tried to say, well, what would be your preference? To me, water's water. Whether it's disinfected, I can treat all of it. So I don't care whether it came from well or city, because at the end of the day, we can treat them all the same. With well water, if you're going for like the ultimate protection, you're pretty much, if you're not having to face tannins or oxidized iron, maybe a couple other tougher situations, then it's pretty simple. You're going to run that into a water softener, throw a UV light on it, that zaps all the bacteria for a perfect peace of mind, and then run into a reverse osmosis unit where that it's getting everything out of that water right before you drink it. And then if you're on a crawl space, we can run that to a fridge as well, because the fridge filters, and I try not to do this in these videos, is run around and stay on topic. But check out the fridge filter videos of should you be using a fridge filter with well water. All right, hopefully this gave you a little bit of an answer. I'm really just pushing you back into research. There is no safe option, if you will, if you look at all the things that can be in water and what those effects are. Also, one of the things I didn't touch on right when I started this was, who deems water safe? Who says things are safe? And if we're looking at the regulations and looking at some of these city water regulations and through the EPA and other sources, so a lot of these haven't changed in 20, 30, some of them 40 years, the same contaminants. And they set a regulation of what they say, if you exceed this, it causes these problems. And you can see all the health problems. They're right there on the city sites and on the info pages, if you will, of the EPA. In fact, if you go to our website, which you should be on there now, if you go to water quality reports, you can click right there. We've made it easy for you guys to have a source where you're not blasted with sales products the entire time. But you can click on your city, go right there to your city report, because if you try to go to their site, it'll take you forever to find it. But you'll be able to pull up your report and it'll tell you everything that was in the water. Your report is going to be about 1.5 years old. That's not us not updating it, that's them. A lot of these reports don't come out for 1.5 years, 2 years sometimes before they have. So some other reports are going to be from 2024. During this video right here, it's 2026. So I would keep that in mind when you're looking at those, is who really set those regulations and said this is safe? And then they say, if you pass this amount, it's not safe. How often do they change that research? And then, who's actually testing all the water there at the point of where it comes into your home? We're not talking about the plant and doing that. So really, we don't run the cities down. They do an awesome job with what they have to work with. Our tax dollars, old pipes, you see the reservoirs, a lot of places, we don't have to get into North Carolina's, especially on the Cape Fear and some of the things there, and really how far some of these forever chemicals and things can travel. But when you get in, there is no source right now that's removing forever chemicals. So when we get into this topic, I wanted this video to be short, but it will keep going. If you, the more research you do, the more you're going to keep doing research, and then you'll come to the same conclusion that there is no way to feel like you have safe water risk-free unless you are taking that leadership and treating it at the point of use. So I will tell you, like, if you haven't checked out the other PFAS series, like with Dr. Frank, and you listen to him explain it in plain English, as the title says, and you talk about that there's like 10,000 forever chemicals plus, anywhere from 10 to 40,000 that they know about. They're only trying to get a regulation on 5 compounds, but they keep moving that back. That's just 5 of the compounds, but you talk about how many possibly are that they don't even know what they're doing to us. They don't know how to remove. It's at some point you'll get in your research to, okay, yeah, there's no way to have perfect water unless I treat it. So that's the answer. Check out some of the other videos on here. I think they can target some of the other different types of filtration if you're looking into targeting one specific thing. I think we have a treatment for about anything. If not, just keep educating yourself with some of the tools that we have. Thank you.